Every year we hear about cuts to California's developmental disabilities system, and every year the cuts do bad things to community services, but this year is very different. This year, 2011, the governor's budget calls for a cut of $533.5 million on top of all the other cuts that have come before.
We are here today to show you firsthand that the life of California with developmental disabilities.
We're here today to show you firsthand that the lives of Californians with developmental disabilities are already in jeopardy because of past cuts, and that any further cuts will destroy lives.
So Kim, what happened as a result of the Medi-Cal cut?
In August 2009.
Well, in late August of 2009, I chipped one of my back molars.
Yeah.
Right away, it hurt so bad, it felt like someone ran over my jaw.
I use this device so anyone can understand me like you probably use your voice. I use a wheelchair like most people use their legs. My wheelchair is the most important thing in my life.
So how long did this go on?
Weeks. It took almost a month.
It went on for weeks and weeks. It took almost a month. I was actually told that I would have to wait until my dental emergency became a medical one.
After the huge budget cuts a few years back, my wheelchair broke and I couldn't get it fixed. I had to make a horrible choice between staying in bed all the time or being in terrible pain using a broken wheelchair.
She came in on a Monday morning, and her right eye was swollen shut completely from infection and pain.
Yeah.
It took 2 more days after that. Days that were filled with complete agony and suffering, before an emergency room doctor was finally able to declare that Kim's tooth was a big enough threat to her life itself to be declared a medical emergency.
It took over 2 years, the loneliest 730 days of my life, laying prisoner in my bed.
Alameda County and the East Bay is ahead of the curve, so we want to share with you directions where the system can go that will make a lot of difference.
Our goal is, like Rocio said, is to give people the qualifications and the capabilities that they need to work in very competitive jobs.
2008, we had our first program at our Vallejo Medical Center. Since the inception of that program, we sponsored 40 interns in a variety of departments.
They had big problems before I came in and were constantly getting in trouble with JACO. And finally I came in and I found a whole bunch of part of their problem and fixed it. And then after JACO came in a second time, there was only one room they found something wrong with. They couldn't find anything else because I had found it.
It's a whole change of going into the hospital. It's seen, the interns are just thriving. They're so excited. But from a business perspective, the change in the staff and the way that they treat all of us, and all of us could be a member at any time or be in the hospital, the way they interact with each other is really changing the culture of those departments.
Well, they couldn't hire me at first because, first of all, there was a hiring freeze. And then after they did hire me, they are now basically just keeping me busy as a bee. I make like $20 an hour a day. You know, I work 4 days out of the week. My job is basically not just stocking and cleaning things. My job is to check stock rooms. And the way I look at it is those that, you know, I save patients' lives.
We came up with the idea of creating a small business development center that creates jobs, self-employment jobs, through small businesses that people with developmental disabilities can own, operate, and run.
The staff have been extremely encouraging and supportive. They realized my talents and believed in me. I wrote and published all of my books because of the help and training I received at the CB Center. I write books and pamphlets. The pamphlets are about how to talk to me or someone like me. I go on speaking engagements to help people learn to communicate with people with disabilities. In 2009, I made $3,000, and in 2010, I made $8,000.
We know we have to contribute, But this system is disproportionately focused on cuts. It's just beyond anything that could salvage any semblance of the commitment that California has to people with developmental disabilities.
So I want to give you a sense of proportion of what a $533.5 million cut would do. In order to save that money, one thing we could do is close every single work activity program in California and every supported employment arrangement in California. That's all of the employment services that regional centers fund, and that would save $143 million statewide. This cut is $533 million. In order to achieve $533 million in savings, we would have to close 63% of all community care licensed homes in California, or 68% of all day programs.
The fear of losing any of these services, I just hope that Sacramento, you can see how important it is and it be cost efficient to employ people to help you and to live more independently than in an institution.
When you get from it, you get your headache.
When you cut from us, you actually hurt us.